असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय। ओम शांति शांति शांति। Dear friends, I am very happy to be here this afternoon to meet you all. I was just wondering whether we should have some close meeting. If you can come forward, then we can have a nice communication. You know, the subject of the program is the science and art of becoming a better teacher. When the subject was announced, one principal asked me, is it only for science teachers or can I send geography teacher also? I said it has nothing to do with science or art. This is an age of packaging, you know. So basically, if I put it like this, how to become a better teacher, nobody will come. So packaging, just an attractive. It has got nothing to do with science and nothing to do with art. One thing is there that, you know, English, there may be English professor here, but you need not have the guidance of an English professor. Once we know a very simple English, we know good, better, best. You are all good teachers and you want to become better. That's why you come. And by the very simple fact that you come to become better, that means you are already good. That is the first premises. You are all good teachers and you want to become better. And there is no sky is the limit for becoming better teacher. Now the subject has been kept is only science, as you know, deals with the technical part of it, the theoretical part of it, and science is always evolving. Newton's law, then later on now the quantum mechanics has come, Planck's law of modern quantum mechanics. So many, the science is undergoing a lot of transformation. But the old scientific rules, laws, they were valid for some period. Some are still valid, but there is an improvement on that. So similarly, the science of becoming a better teacher, there is no such fixed rules. Over a period of last few years, for last 30 years, I have been going to various educational institutions all over the country and talking to the youths particularly on total personality development, character building, etc. And during that process I have been meeting the principal and the teachers and having some interaction with them. But for last 5 years I have been concentrating more on teachers, because even after a period of 30 years I have been able to say cover 3-4 lakhs of students, and we have millions of students. So now I am concentrating on teachers, because if the message can go to one teacher, it will go to minimum 1000 students. So it is a multiplier effect. So that is why now I prefer to talk to the teachers. So during last 5 years, I had about 50 to 60 such types of programs where we had 400, 500 teachers at a time. So the message goes to 400 teachers. When I went to TVS school, Madurai, they closed all the 4 schools so that all the teachers could jointly attend my program. Similarly, Baroda, we had Baroda High School, they have 4 sections. So all the 4 sections, they closed so that all the teachers could come. So I am concentrating more on teachers program, because one teacher is equal to minimum 1000 students. And the art of teaching the science and art of becoming a better teacher. I am not going to talk about art of teaching, because you know better than me. You are a practicing teacher. What I am going to tell is that whatever science, that is the success formula I have developed over a period of years during my observation and consultation, whatever formula I have evolved, how to practice that formula, that is the art part of it. And this success formula that I have developed is undergoing, always evolving, you know. So that formula has been already given to you in the brochure. S, that is success, is equal to 3D plus 3C plus 3Q. Previously 3C was not there. Now I put 3C, then 3Q. And only while I was preparing for this seminar 2 days back, the science has been further evolved. That is plus added by plus 3P plus 1L. So I will tell about it. First thing is, you may ask, why D is first and C is later on? A, B, C, D. First C and then D. But here, first D and then C. Because without D, C will not come. When you are going to talk about how to become a better teacher. So what is D? 3D. D1 is dignity of profession. So whenever I go to all these conferences for the teachers, then they ask me, Swamiji, why don't you give a small mantra? By repeating the mantra, we will get success in our teaching profession. Better to give us a mantra. I said, okay, I will give you mantra. But that mantra has to be repeated morning 10 times and evening 10 times, night time 10 times. Are you ready? Yes. Then I will give you mantra. And I can assure you, within 3 months, you will get very good result. You will feel much better. You will have more contentment, job satisfaction, and more confidence, and also efficiency will be increased within 3 months. Then they start writing down. I said, no need of writing down, because you already got a laptop here. Just feed it here. Very easy to remember. So then I say, the mantra is, I am a teacher. Then they become disappointed. What is this mantra? We thought there will be some Sanskrit mantra, very powerful mantra. And we will repeat it and we will get the whole thing rather than going through whole lecture. What is this? Then I tell them, you see, this mantra, if you repeat 10,000 times every day, nothing will happen to you. Nothing will happen to you. It is not, there is no magic in the formula, not in the mantra. The magic is in how you recite the mantra. I ask many teachers, what are you doing? Then with a very, very apologetic face, he says, I am a teacher. I am a teacher. What to do? I appeared for IAS, could not pass. Then I appeared for bank, that also I couldn't pass. So I thought, let me become a teacher. Yashwant Bhai Shukla, the great Gujarati writer, had come to our Rajkot when we had the seminar on science and art of becoming better teacher, same subject. Then he said, there are many teachers who have become teachers by their own choice, and there are some teachers who have accidentally come to this line. And I will request them to leave this line as early as possible. If you have accidentally come to this line, unless and until you have chosen this profession, you will not get job satisfaction. Because Here salary is very less. All types of difficulties, maximum difficulties. It's a thankless job, monotonous job. So unless until you know the dignity of the profession, this is not going to be a good vocation for you. I don't call it profession, I don't call it vocation, I don't call it a job, I call it a great duty or great swadharma. The highest and the noblest and the best profession is that of a teacher. So if you say, I am a teacher, within bracket, how miserable I am and how helpless I am, and if you repeat 10,000 times, you will further go down. But if you say, I am a teacher, within bracket, how great I am and how responsible I am, and if you repeat 10 times morning and 10 times evening, and you will get the magical effect within 3 months, I can assure you. And this whole program is only to make that bracket clear. Dignity of profession, we must have, we must know how great I am. Any teacher, irrespective of whether you are a science teacher or an arts teacher or a geography teacher or a commerce teacher, whatever it is, irrespective of what type of teacher you are, you have a very important role to play. Very important role to play. The formula I was telling you, the dignity of profession, D1 is the dignity of profession. That first of all we must be convinced. And whether you, the President of India, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, has written a book, India 2020, a vision of the new millennium, as you know. There he writes, Dr. Kalam writes, if you are a teacher, in whatever capacity you are, you have a very important role to play in making India a developed country by 2020. Why? Because more than anybody else, it is you who are shaping the future generations. The development of the nation does not depend upon the present Prime Minister, present Chief Ministers, present Ministers, present IAS officers, present IPS officers, present bank officers, present businessmen. Why? Because milk has been spoiled already, most of them. But we are trying to make paneer out of it. It has not been thrown. But we can save the milk which has not yet been spoiled, and that is our youth, our students. That is why the future Prime Minister, the future Chief Ministers, the future IPS officers, the future IAS officers, future businessmen, they are all studying in your class. Now, you may make enlightened citizens, you may make Gandhiji, you can, if you cannot switch off, you can make it in silent mode. No, if you don't know how to switch off, then we can help you. There problem with my mobile, it is not getting switched off, so I handed it over to somebody else because it will create problem. So, all of the future great people, the future IAS officer, future IPS officer, future enlightened, they are all in your class. Now it depends upon you how you mold them. You may make Mahatma Gandhi, Swami Vivekanand, Jhansi Ki Rani, Mirabai, Kiran Bedi, Sunita Williams, Kalpana Chawla out of them, or Dr. Kalam out of them, or Bin Laden out of them. As it depends upon you. They are at your mercy. That is why A teacher's role is the highest and the greatest role, the best role, the highest profession, the greatest profession, the noblest profession. And I will prove it. I will prove it that the whole world depends upon the present teachers. समस्त विश्व के कल्याण की चाबी टीचर्स के हाथ में है. The future of the whole world depends upon the teachers. Teachers are the torch bearers of change. That is my book. You will get it in the bookshop. That is based on my talk delivered at AMA. Teacher as a torch bearer of change. So you go through the book, because I am going to bypass certain things, because that what is given in the book, and I want to go further because we have limited time. So you please go through that book, Teacher as a torch bearer of change. There I have proved mathematically, simple mathematics, that everybody can understand. A is equal to B, B is equal to C, C is equal to D, and D is equal to E, and therefore A is equal to E. That's very simple. Similarly, I have told teachers are the torch bearers of change, and teachers are the greatest in the whole world. Proved. The whole world depends upon teachers. How? Swami Vivekananda, when he came back from the Western countries, on 11 September 1893, he delivered his historic speech at the Parliament of Religions in Chicago. 4 years he was there for preaching Vedanta and spreading the nectar of Vedanta in the Western countries. 1897 he came and he was given warm welcome, and in response to the warm welcome he gave very fiery speeches. All these speeches have been compiled in a book form, lectures from Colombo to Almora. From Colombo to Almora, wherever he went, he was received. And the gist of those lectures have been given in the book, My India, the India Eternal. And Swamiji gave clarion call, very fiery speeches. Our nation was sleeping. All the people were sleeping for last 1000 years. It was a slave nation. And Swami Vivekananda gave a clarion call. Uttisthata, Jagrata, Prapyavran, Nibodhata, arise, awake and stop not till the goal is reached. And the whole country got awakened. For the first time after 1000 years, an awakening came. And then Swamiji told in his speech in Chennai, my plan of campaign, India shall conquer the whole world by its spiritual power. He talked about loving the country, what about loving nation, and he talked that India shall conquer the whole world by its spiritual power. He was not an astrologer, he was a visionary. Whatever he told has come true. In 1897, in his speech in Calcutta and in Madras, he had told in Chennai, within 50 years, India shall become independent from foreign dominion under extraordinary circumstances without a war. At that time, nobody ever thought that India can become independent. Nobody ever thought of freedom of India. And least of all, no country so far in the history had got independence without a war. But he told this thing. Gandhiji came in 1915, much later, and then started non-cooperation movement. But Swamiji could see with his visionary eyes. And whatever he said has come true. One more thing he said, that India will become so great that its past glory will fade into insignificance. That has yet to come true. And then he told, India shall conquer the whole world by its spiritual power. He was asked this question, you are a monk, why should you think about only India? Then he said, yes, I am a monk, and for me all countries are same. I belong to the whole world, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. That is my this one. I have a message to the West as Buddha had a message to the East. In fact, America regards Swami Vivekananda as the national builder of America, gives that honor. 100 national builders of America, so one of them is Swami Vivekananda. So, Swami Vivekananda loved America, and that is why he chose the date of his passing away, 4th July, which is the date of America's Freedom Day. That day he got freedom from this body. But of course, he did not leave the world. He said, I will continue to live in the world. I am not going to leave the world. But Swami Vivekananda said, for me all countries are same. But the whole world has to be saved from suicide, mental agonies and the suffering caused by materialistic culture, the consumeristic culture, and all the people in the world are thirsty to get the nectar of Vedanta. Swami Vivekananda could foresee how many people will commit suicide because of this consumeristic culture in the Western countries. So that's why he said, in order to save those people, it's very necessary. Indian culture, spirituality, Indian yoga, Indian methods of meditation, Indian spiritual culture must spread all over the world, particularly the Western countries, in order to save them. We want to, what he meant by conquest of the Western countries by India was not killing them, but giving them the message of harmony and peace, message of world peace, message of non-violence, message of mutual cooperation, and more particularly the message of spiritual culture, and getting rid of the jaws of the materialistic consumeristic culture. That's why he said, if the world is to be saved, Indian spiritual culture must spread there. Already it is spreading. Whatever Swamiji said is coming true. India is rising at a fantastic speed. Dr. Kalam, President of India, said by 2020 ours will be a developed country. It may come earlier also. In remote sensing satellite, we are number one, as you know. America, Japan are now taking our remote sensing satellites. Space technology fourth, wheat production number one, milk production number one, software technology, biotechnology, genetic engine number one. India is becoming number one in many fields, and India is becoming a superpower, economic superpower. And the Indian culture and spirituality is in high demand. 4th June 2003, Time magazine brought out a special issue. On the front cover, there was a photograph of a Hollywood actress meditating. Inside, the cover story name was Just Say Om. And there it was written, 10 million Americans are regularly meditating. You cannot avoid meditation in America. Boardrooms, classrooms, airports, railway platform, everywhere. They have opened meditation chambers, and the same thing has come to Europe. 2004, I had gone to attend the second international conference on disaster management organized by Coventry University, because they were very much amazed how could we finish our earth. We had, as you know, 26 January 2001 there was the earthquake. So immediately on the day one, as is the tradition of Ramakrishna Mission, we started our relief work, and we had a project of 20 crores of rupees. We constructed 81 school buildings, government school buildings, and handed it over back to the government, and 6 colonies. And we did it at a fantastic speed because these children were not having any place where to sit for. And so the school authorities said, up to June there is no problem, but during the rainy season we are going to have a problem. So before June, we had handed over them many schools. Within 3 months we constructed prefabrication technology. So they wanted to know how we could do it, how we could get the cooperation of the villagers. So I gave the presentation. And then I thought of taking that opportunity of visiting our centers in Europe, UK, Germany, France, Netherlands, Switzerland. And my flight was from Zurich to Bombay. We have a center in Switzerland, in Geneva. From Geneva I took a train, very beautiful train. The train goes directly into the airport of Zurich. You come out of the train, there is a trolley, put your luggage, there is a lift, go to the second floor, there is an airport. Don't go anywhere. And beautiful airport, big market. I was strolling through the market in search of a book. Suddenly I found a signboard, meditation chamber at Zurich airport. Airports, classrooms, boardrooms. Andhare S. Joa carried out a survey in a school in Holland. Some students were given regular training in meditation for 1 year, and another batch was not given any training. After 1 year they found the students who were meditating, they came out with flying colors and academic result. Not only that, extracurricular activities also they excelled. So they found out meditation helps in increasing concentration. and in stress management. So now they are giving meditation, making meditation compulsory in the schools in Europe, in America. UK has made, as you know, recently UK has made yoga compulsory in all the schools. Of course, that is for a different reason. There what happens that the British children, they have become addicted to the idiot box. So they sit down in front of idiot box and go on taking ice cream and chocolate and all that, and all have become fat, and they are getting diseases like blood pressure and diabetes at a young age. And in UK, all the medical bills have to be given by the government. It's a socialist country, so the medical care has been taken by the government, and so their bills are mounting. So that is why they have now made yoga compulsory, so that they can reduce their fat, and then their medical bills go down. So for different purposes, but yoga, meditation are becoming very popular all over the world. So what Swami Vivekananda prophesies, Indian culture and spirituality conquering the world, that is already coming true. But there is one problem. We want to become spiritual guru of the world, and the developed countries will say, you are going to become our guru. What about yourself? Your youth are blindly imitating our culture, and you want to teach us meditation? Nobody is coming to your meditation classes. Because, you know, we like imported things. We want imported car, imported pen, imported meditation we will have. We had imported Vivekananda. When he was wandering here, he did not get chapati also. 3 days, sometimes he would go without food. But when he made a dent in Chicago Parliament religion, he became world famous, he was given warm welcome. So that's why American people say, Vivekananda is ours, not yours. You had already thrown him out. We made him great, and now you are giving him respect. He is our Vivekananda, American government says. And so wherever Swami Vivekananda stayed, even for 3 days, American government has made those houses heritage buildings. You cannot touch that building without asking the government. You cannot repair it. You have to take the permission. They give a lot of respect to Swami Vivekananda. But still, there is a lot of things from the teachings of Swami Vivekananda which have yet to go all over the world, including America. So Eleanor Stark, she has written a book. The name of the book is Gift Unopened. There she says, America has given proper respect to Vivekananda, but has yet the gift that Swami Vivekananda gave is unopened. God's greatest gift was Swami Vivekananda, and he gave so many good teachings, but we have yet to discover them. Already he has given so many things. It is a gift unopened. That is the name of the book. But in any case, what I was telling you is that at present, ours is a developing country. Theirs is a developed country. So we must have some dignity before we can become spiritual guru. We can become their teacher, world teacher. So we will have to become a developed country. So before Swami Vivekananda's dream can be fulfilled, we have to fulfill the dream of our President of India of making India a developed country. They will say, otherwise you yourself are not able to solve your problems and you are going to teach us. So we will have to solve that. So there is an imperative need. Whole world is waiting for the nectar of Vedanta. Whole world is waiting for meditation and yoga of India. The whole world is waiting for Indian spiritual culture. They are dying. You know, there is a book by Derek Humphreys. The name of the book is The Final Exit, and the book is also Exit, not available in the market. After a long search, I found one in a book fair to find out what it is all about. What is written there? How to commit suicide. And the book is selling like hotcake. The bestseller book in Japan, The Complete Manual on Committing Suicide. 3.5 lakhs copies sold within 1 year. And some people committed suicide while taking the book in their hand and committing the suicide in the manner in which it was told in the book. France, the bestseller book name is Suicide User's Manual. They all want to commit suicide. No mental peace. According to Minister of Health, Japan, 42% of the Japanese executives are having mental disorder, and 100 of 44 years and above are having mental disorder, and 100 hospitals, mental hospitals opening on an emergency scale. In America, National Institute of Mental Health says 25% of the people in America are regularly visiting a psychiatrist. At least one in every family on an average regularly visits a psychiatrist. Mental patients, suicides, divorces. Previously, out of 3, 1 resulted in divorce. Now, out of 3, 2 result in divorce. Every 3 persons, 2. So, 2/3 of the marriages within 2 years will result in divorce. That's why when I went to UK, I was talking to our host. He said, "How are you?" I say, "Everything is fine. Now my business has been taken over by my son. He is looking after the business, and I look after the Sri Krishna temple and all that. Everything is fine excepting one thing." What is that? My son has become now 40 years old. Everything is fine about him, but he says, "I won't marry." Then afterwards I met another gentleman. He is also worried. Why? Everything is fine. My daughter is working in Birmingham. I was talking at Coventry. Father is in Coventry. Then my daughter is working in Birmingham in a very good bank, very good job. Weekend she comes to say hello to us. Everything is fine. She's 40 years old, but she says, "I won't marry." Nobody wants to marry. Why? They are saying, "Our friends have married. They have burned their fingers. We don't want to burn our fingers, because after 2-3 years you will have divorce maximum, and the cost of divorce is more than the cost of marriage. So why should we go into all this trouble of marriage and divorce and marriage and divorce? The animals are not marrying. Why should we marry? So become animals." That is the Western culture. That is what is happening. No mental peace, mental disorder, mental hospital, divorces, drug addiction, AIDS, suicide. According to UNESCO report, 50% of the youth in America, Japan and Sweden are not meeting natural death. The cause of the death is suicide. The whole world now is in urgent need of Indian spiritual culture, the nectar of Vedanta, to save them. Otherwise they will die. There is an urgent need. And the message of India has been the message of non-violence. The message of India has been the message of harmony of religions. This is what Swami Vivekananda told on 11th September 1893. Swami Vivekananda told in his speech at the end, more blood has gone, so much of bloodshed has been there in the whole world in the name of religion. Maximum bloodshed has been in the name of religion, fighting in the name of religion. And then he said, "I fervently pray that the bell that tolled this morning in the honor of this convention may be the death knell of all sorts of fanaticism, of all sorts of dogmatism, and all sorts of persecution, whether by pen or with the sword, in the name of religion." This is what he prayed for. But we did not listen to his advice. What happened? 11th September 2001, World Tower broken because of dogmatism. All the people who were sitting in the aeroplane, they had gone to the aeroplane after namaz, thinking they are doing a very good religious act by killing 5,000 people. Why? Dogmatism. Swami Vivekananda said, all religions are equally true. That is the message of Vedanta. Ekam sadvipra bahuda vadanti. The truth is one, sages call it by different names. And this truth has been verified by Sri Ramakrishna, the guru of Swami Vivekananda, in his own life. He practiced Hinduism, Christianity, Islam by turn, and then declared, Joto mot toto path. As many faiths, so many paths. The whole world is waiting for that message of harmony of religions. The whole world is waiting for the message of peace. One of the greatest historians of our times, Arnold J. Toynbee, says, the present chapter of the history had a Western beginning. But if the world is to survive from self-destruction, it must have an Indian end. And then he says, Mahatma Gandhi and Emperor Ashoka's principle of non-violence and Sri Ramakrishna's testimony as to the harmony of religions, these are the attitudes and the values which will save the whole world from self-destruction. So the whole world is waiting to receive the message of Indian spirituality, Indian message of harmony of religions, Indian message of non-violence, Indian message of meditation and spirituality and yoga, Indian message of mental peace, Indian message of nectar of Vedanta. Whole world is waiting. And that's why the whole world can be saved only if India can conquer the whole world by its spiritual power. A is equal to B. Agreed? Yes or no? No? Yes. Okay. Now, in order that India should become a spiritual guru, it is very necessary that India should have a credibility and India should become a developed country. B is equal to C. Agreed? Now, how can India develop? How can India become great? How can India solve its problem? On 16th April 2003, I was at Rashtrapati Bhavan talking to Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, the President of India. I had gone there to present to him the video CD and the book that we had prepared based on his talk on 13th February 2002 given at Porbandar, when he came to inaugurate one of the 81 school buildings constructed by us as a part of earthquake rehabilitation project. He gave a very beautiful speech there to 3,000 youths, students, and of course in the morning we had a lot of talks from Rajkot to Porbandar by car, 3 hours, nobody else, myself and Dr. Kalam. At that time he had not become the President of India, he was more free. So we had a lot of talks. He was asking me, Swamiji, please tell something about Swami Vivekananda. Then I told so many things. Then he said Ramakrishna, then Sarada Devi. And then again we reached Porbandar. He meditated in the room in which Swami Vivekananda himself stayed, and he entered into deep meditation. It was difficult for us to bring him out from meditation. He wrote also in his book Ignited Minds, sitting in the room in which Swami Vivekananda stayed, I was lost in meditation. Then he took snacks, went to the place, Vivekananda Vidya Mandir, the school, inaugurated the school, very inspiring speech to 3,000 youths, went to Mahatma Gandhi's birthplace, and then came to Ashrama, took lunch with us. Then he went to Prasla, another place 80 kilometers away for another youth retreat. And in the evening he went to Rajkot to take a flight onto Bombay, onto Chennai, because at that time he was the professor of Anna University. Incidentally, I had to also take the flight same day from Rajkot to Bombay on to Benares for their centenary celebration. So, in the evening when I went from Porbandar to Rajkot and went to the aircraft. Now seeing me in the aircraft, Dr. Kalam, like a small child, says, Swamiji, you are going by the same flight, I want to sit near you. Then I said, okay, I will come to you. No, no, Swamiji, you are a monk, I should come to you. So simple, so humble. Then I told the young man who was sitting by my side, go to his place. Bharat Ratna Dr. Kalam wants to sit near me. He also wanted to have a lot of talks with me. I said, oh, we will have a lot of talks later. Let Dr. Kalam sit. Then Dr. Kalam sat down. Then Dr. Kalam said, Swamiji, in the morning you told so many things about Vivekananda. Please tell something more. Then I told, why are you so eager to know about Swami Vivekananda? Then he gave a beautiful reply. Swamiji, I feel Swami Vivekananda is the first saint who converted religion into practical spirituality. And then I told again many things about Swami Vivekananda. After 40 minutes, the plane touched Bombay airport. Swamiji, Bombay has come so quickly. I wanted to learn so many more things. Anyway, it is one of the greatest days of my life. I have learned so many things about great people, great saints. Then we departed. And we had announced in that public meeting on 13th February 2002 that he is not a Bharat Ratna, he is a Vishwa Ratna. He is going to become great. This is what we told, but we did not know that it will come true. Within 4 months he became the President of India. And when I heard, when I learned that he is going to become the President, because it was certain, his name was nominated, so it was certain, so immediately I telephoned. I used to telephone sometimes. I said, let me telephone, because once he goes to Rashtrapati Bhavan, very difficult to catch him. So I just telephoned. He came all the way to the guest house to take my phone. Then I told him, Dr. Kalam, I wanted to give you advance congratulations for becoming President of India, because once you go to Rashtrapati Bhavan, you will become inaccessible. Immediately said in his character, said, not for you, Swamiji, not for you. And then he said, Swamiji, you won't believe, yesterday only I remembered you. How? Yesterday there was the first big press conference. From all over the world, press reporters came and they asked me the question, what is your message for the nation? First message, after being nominated as the president. And there were a lot of press people. I told them, I have to give you the same message that I gave at Porbandar talking to 3,000 youths 4 months back. That time I remembered you. And then he said, when you are giving vote of thanks, one girl came up to the dais and took my autograph and asked for the message. That time I had given the message. My dear daughter, you will grow the idea embedded in your mind that nation is more important than the individual. That is my message for the nation today. He told. Afterwards I learned in the newspapers, India Today also gave, yes, he told, I have to give the same message that I gave at Porbandar. So he said, Swamiji, I remembered you yesterday. So we prepared the video CD and the book based on his speech given on 13th February 2002, but I was a little shy. But since 16th April 2003, I was in Delhi for some other work. I just said, if he can spare 5 minutes, then I can hand over this book. And he gave 15 minutes instead of 5 minutes. And we had a lot of talks. And before I could hand over all the items, he stood up. And I thought now he's president, but he's as simple as ever and very humble. In a very simple dress, in executive table he was sitting in chair near executive. He stood up. And before I could give anything, he gave me a very big basket of fruits. And then I gave him books, photograph of Vivekananda and all those things. Swamiji, you brought so many things for me. Like a child, he said. I said, what can I bring for you? Like a fakir, I have come to meet an emperor. I have come like Sudama. I have come from Sudama Puri. Porbandar name is Sudama Puri, second name. So like Sudama, I have come from Sudama Puri. What can I bring for you, an emperor? Just see his humility. Immediately he said, only one emperor, Swamiji. We are servants of the same emperor. You know, Tamilian touch. Same emperor. Only one God is the only emperor. So simple. And then we had a lot of talks. Then I told Dr. Kalam, you want to make India great. We also want to make India great. Swami Vivekananda also wanted to make India great. We are also working for it. You are also working for it. But I can tell you one thing. Even if you bring the wealth of the whole World Bank, India's poverty will not go. Why, Swamiji? He stood up. He became so anxious. Why, Swamiji? For the simple reason, the former Prime Minister told, if you put 1 rupee into the 5-year plan, only 15 paisa comes to the grassroots level farmer. Rajiv Gandhi told, I am afraid if 5 paisa is coming or not now. From top to bottom, minister, they are taking fodder, anything they are taking, then pocket, IS officer, then DDO and BDO and Karmchari. By the time it comes to that, he has already committed suicide, the farmer. So many farmers are committing suicide. Maharashtra, Andhra Pradesh. Why? There are so many development plans. So much aid is coming from World Bank. Not reaching them. Because I have got first-hand experience. I told Dr. Kalam, I am not speaking from the newspapers. I was in Ranchi for 10 years. Corruption is all the level, all the countries, you know. There is corruption more or less in all the countries, but there are 10 countries where corruption is maximum. And one of the countries is Mera Bharat Mahan. Transparency International carried out a survey of the greatest countries having greatest corruption and found out that India's number is 10th. Last year, 21,600 crore rupees of corruption was done. Transparency International, according to Transparency International, and you will be glad to know that the highest corruption was in the field of education. Highest corruption was in the field of education, greatest corruption in the field of education. Now how can you improve the system? Sri Ramakrishna used to tell a story. There was a man, a ghost entered into him. A ghost. Now what to do? We have to remove the ghost. So, you know, there are certain people who remove the ghost. They are called Bhua in Gujarati and Oza in Hindi. I don't know in English what do they call. He is a charmer. He is a charmer. Bhua. Bhua ne su ke Gujarati ma? English mein su ke? Athwa Oza. Oza in Hindi they call it Oza. Anyway, his job is to remove the ghost. So that person, that Bhuva was called, and then the Bhuva started chanting very powerful mantras. Now the ghost was very intelligent. He understood these are very powerful mantras. So what did he do? The ghost, the Oza had taken some mustard seeds into his hand and he was reciting the mantras. And as soon as these mustard seeds will go into the head of that person, ghost has to go. So the ghost was so intelligent, it entered into the mustard seeds. Now how can you remove the ghost? By the mustard seeds which contains the ghost. So you want to remove corruption by education. Education is maximum corruption. How can you remove the ghost of corruption? From the mustard seeds containing the ghost. So that is the situation. So I told Dr. Kalam, even if you bring the wealth of the whole World Bank, the corruption is, the poverty will not go. Corruption is so rampant. Corruption is everywhere in all the countries, in all the states, also in India. But Bihar is specialized in it. I was in Bihar for 10 years. For 10 years I was in Bihar. I have seen with my own eyes, because from Ranchi we have a rural and tribal development project, Divyayan Krishi Vigyan Kendra. Now it is considered to be the best KVK in the whole country. So I was there in that project working for, we have 72 youth clubs through which we are working in hundreds of villages for their development. A lot of changes have taken place, but in spite of the government, not because of the government. But at that time when I was there, I had to go to Patna for some work. At that time it was in Bihar, now it is in Jharkhand. I saw with my own eyes, rates are written, standard printed rates. For transfer 5 lakhs rupees, for new posting 8 lakhs, this is all printed, there is no cheating there. No cheating. And you give the money, what you have to give in cash from under the table, next day you get the transfer order. The most efficient government in the world. You can't get it. Yes, you know how much difficult it is. One file has to move to so many tables, but the file runs around all the tables and the tables come there and the officers come there, but it is, and the secretary goes with the chief minister in the helicopter and gets his signature. Next day you got the order. I have seen with my own eyes. So rampant corruption. That's why I told Dr. Kalam, even if you bring the wealth of the whole World Bank, poverty will not go because corruption is so rampant. Then he said, Swamiji, what is the solution? I said, only one solution. What we should have done on 15th August 1947, we should do it from today. What is that? Swami Vivekananda said, education, education, education alone is the panacea of all our evils. But what type of education? Not the present type of education. He said, what we want is man-making education, character-building education. That is not being given. I say jokingly, what we are giving is Rakshasa-making education, demon-making education. Not the demons that you see in the TV with 2 horns, but these are the modern demons coming with safari suit and Banarsi sari. Rakshas and Rakshasi. You see all around. What is the Rakshasa? Bhartrihari says in his book Niti Shatakam, there are 4 types of people in the society. What are the 4 types? Ete satpurusha parartha ghataka swarthan parityajye samanyastu parartham udyam abrata swartha avirodhena ye temi manush rakshasah parahitam nignanti ye nignanti nirarthakam parahitam te kena jani mein. 4 types of people. Number 1, satpurusha. What do? They first try to do good to others, then they try to do good to themselves. At the cost of their own suffering, they try to do good to others. Satpurusha. Good, excellent human beings. Second, samana manusha, ordinary human beings. What do they try to do? First they try to do good to themselves and then they try to do good to others. Third, manush rakshasa. They are looking like human beings but rakshasa, demon. So the name is manush rakshasa. They are not rakshasa, manush rakshasa. Now what do? For their small self-interest, they are ready to do any amount of harm to others. So what do? They take 10 lakhs of rupees from under the table in cash and tell the contractor you can mix any amount of sand with cement, and the contractor builds a check dam, is full of sand, less of cement, heavy rain, the whole check dam is washed out, thousands become homeless, hundreds of people die, thousands houses washed away, millions of rupees of loss to the nation. Doesn't matter. I have got my house built for 10 lakhs rupees. Those days jai bhar mein. Let the country go to dogs. Let the society go to dogs. Manush Rakshasa. In every field you will get. When I was in Raipur in Chhattisgarh, at the time it was an MP, we saw with our own eyes a shopkeeper who used to sell sweets. Within 2 years, he built a multi-story building. How? By mixing blotting paper with the sweets. Blotting paper. When I was in Ranchi in Bihar at the time, now in Jharkhand at the time in Bihar, we heard about a case in which a businessman had mixed the fat of the cow, the marrow of the cow, along with dalda. So many. And so many people, they got affected, they went to the hospital, but he made billions of rupees. One of our devotees went from Rajkot for further treatment on advice from Rajkot doctors. They said, you have to go to Bombay. So she went to Bombay. And she came back and said, Swamiji, do you know, the first question asked by the Bombay doctor was, he didn't ask, since how long you are suffering. He didn't ask, what is your problem? He didn't ask, where is the pain? No. First question was, how much can you spend? What is your budget? And according to budget, the disease will be shown. They will get it all reported, ECG, blood report, everything. And it has to be done in the laboratory in which they say. And they will telephone what type of disease to be done, because 3.5 lakh package. So within that, and then they will say, oh, you will have to get it operated, even if it is not necessary. Then they will operate. And if the patient fails, then they will say, what to do, we tried our best, had to come a little earlier, that would be better. Anyway, don't worry, this package takes care of the final rites also. Cremation, we will do the cremation. Whole package. For their small self-interest, they can do any amount of harm to others. Manush Rakshasa. And Bhartrihari says there are 4 type people also. But I don't know what name I should give. Satpurush, Samanya Manush, Manush Rakshasa. Now these are worse than Manush Rakshasa. I can't give the name, you can give the name. Teke na jani mahe. I can't give the name, but I can tell you what do they do. The 3rd type, for their small self-interest, they do any amount of harm to others. The 4th type of such, they don't get any benefit, but they enjoy at others' downfall. They enjoy others' fall, others' harm. They feel so happy. Somebody's house is burning. Ah, fine. Why? You become so happy. Why? His house is burning. But did you get any benefit? No. But I feel a great joy. Somebody has been demoted. Oh, very nice. But did you get any promotion? No, but he has been demoted. Very nice. I feel so happy. Somebody has fallen down. Very nice. But did you get any benefit? No. I feel so joy, great joy. He is falling down. Without any personal benefit, you enjoy others' downfall and others' harm. That is worse than Rakshasa. These 4 types of people are there in the world according to Bhartrihari. And I have made a letter system. There is a 5th type also. Perhaps they were not available during Bhartrihari's time. Now I can't give the name, Teke na jani mahe. But I can tell you, now the 5th type are, they enjoy others' harm so much that they harm themselves in order to harm others. So they will sit down in the aeroplane and strike with the world tower. I am dead, I am gone, doesn't matter. 5,000 people killed. Ah, so happy. Isn't it? 5th type are existing. Let my one eye go, but let my neighbor lose both the eyes and become blind and fall into the well and die. Oh, so happy I am. Let my eye one go, but he has died. Very nice. You know that story of the conch shell and how that person got, the neighbor got blind and fell down to the well. So this is what it, so this is the 5th type. Now in our society today, we have more number of 3rd, Manush Rakshasa, 4th and 5th. Samanya Manusha very less. And Satpurusha, we have to see with the microscope, not available, not to be seen. That is why Swami Vivekananda said, what we want is man making education, character building education, and not demon making education. We are producing first class engineers, very nice engineers, doctors, chartered accountants, genius, giants, but selfish giants. मैं, मेरी बीवी, मेरा बच्चा, मेरा मकान, देश जाए भाड़ में. I go to all over the country talking to the youths. I might have met lakhs of students, might have visited hundreds of education institutions, so many places. Youths are the same. Uttarakhand, South India, UP, Bihar, Gujarat, Maharashtra, so many places I go. Youths are same. I ask them, Bhaiya, what is the purpose of your life? Oh, purpose of life, I will become engineer, doctor, chartered accountant. Then I will develop my career. Then बस फिर तो पैसा आ जाएगा, फिर पैसा, और जब पैसा है तो मजा ही मजा है, मजा ही मजा है. Then I will enjoy. What will happen to the nation? देश का क्या होगा? देश जब भाड़ में, मैं तो अपना कैरियर डेवलप करूंगा. और समाज का क्या होगा? समाज जब भाड़ में, मैं तो अपना कैरियर डेवलप करूंगा. Then I say, अच्छा भैया सुनो, तुम्हारा देश भाड़ में जाएगा, तुम्हारा समाज भाड़ में, तुम कहाँ जाओगे? तुम भी भाड़ में जाओगे, इतना तो सोचो. If your country goes to dogs, your society goes to dogs, where will you go? You will also go to dogs. At least for your own self-interest, you should try to serve the country. Don't harm the country if you can't serve, at least. Have a self-indulgent self-interest. This we are not able to do. So now full of Manush Rakshasa. Swami Vivekananda said, what we want is man-making education, character-building education. Then I told Dr. Kalam, we are going to start Vivekananda Institute of Value Education Culture. Of course, we have 600 educational institutions, best schools of the Ramakrishna Mission, best schools and colleges of the country are being run by Ramakrishna Mission. Vivekananda College in Chennai, Ramakrishna Mission Narendrapur, Devghar, Mysore, Arunachal Pradesh. Excellent from every point of view, not only academic but also value education point of view. But how much we can do? We have only few monks. 600 educational institutions where 2 lakh students are given this type of education. There also, there are 2 types, residential programs, non-residential, we are able to give much in terms of value education. Non-residential, we have very less control because of the so-called secularization of our country, so-called secular policies of our country. So, anyway, but we are trying to do our best. But what about the other schools and colleges? We go there and visit. And we have special institutions like Vivekananda Institute of Human Excellence in Hyderabad, Vivekananda Institute of Ramakrishna Institute of Moral and Spiritual Education in Mysore, and now we have started Vivekananda Institute of Value Education Culture in Porbandar. That was inaugurated by Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, President of India, on 12th January 2006. I told Dr. Kalam that you have to come. And that time also I had told, again I went, and 19th September again I met him. And I told you have to come on 12th January. We want you on Swami Vivekananda's birthday only. So on 12th January he came. As soon as he landed, Swamiji, I have kept my promise. I am here on 12th January. And he has also told me, Swamiji, you sent some questions from Porbandar. So we invited 50 students from 100 educational institutions and some other youths from all parts of Gujarat. So all these 100 educational institutions, we told you, select 10 best questions from your youth and send to us. So likewise we collected 1000 questions, out of which we selected 46 questions, and they were sent to Dr. Kalam. And as per his promise, the day he landed at Porbandar on 12th January, he put all the answers in the website. And some of the most beautiful questions he answered there, rest all in put. Now we have brought out a video CD based on that program. Wonderful. All of you must see that video CD and must show to thousands of students. Beautiful. Containing very inspiring speech of Dr. Kalam, how Swami Vivekananda inspired Jamshedji Tata during the sea voyage from Japan to America in 1893, and how he inspired him to start Indian Institute of Science. All these things he has told. Plus he answered the questions, some questions he answered. And all, but we have brought out a book in which all the 46 replies that he had given in the website has been given, but the video CD very lively. You must see. And in order that all the students can afford, we made it only 30 rupees. And along with that, we gave that book free. Let all of them. Already the book has come to you free. I have given already the book. So because I want the teachers at least must read the book. Video CD you can purchase from their bookshop. Now, what an interesting question answer was there. I will just give you one glimpse. It will be there in the in my introduction. It will not be there in the question answer session, but in the introduction, because those question answer what he gave in website was different from what he actually gave sometimes. So one student stood up. Well, the question answer started. A student stood up. Sir, Operation Duryodhan and Operation Chakravyuh have revealed the tip of the iceberg, that is rampant corruption in the country today. As the President of India, how do you feel about it? And where do you think lies the solution? Then Dr. Kalam stood up and said, you see, the Parliament has already taken some action. And then he read out a passage from the book of Swami Vivekananda, in which Swami Vivekananda says, no amount of Parliament acts can make a nation good, can make a nation great. And what can make a nation good and what can make a nation great? Swami Vivekananda says, only a large number of good people, large number of good enlightened citizens of the country can make a nation great and can make a nation great and can make a nation good. Then Dr. Kalam said, and the government cannot produce good people and the government will not produce good people. That also he said, and will not produce. Then who can do it? Only 3 persons can do it. Father, mother and the teacher. Nobody else. Nobody else can produce good people in the country. That is why he says maximum attention he gives to the teachers and the students. So, all depends upon the teachers. The world can be conquered. We want that world should be conquered. For saving the world, world should be conquered by Indian spiritual culture. But Indian culture, in order to protect and in order that India becomes the spiritual guru, India must become a developed country. In order that India becomes a developed country, corruption should be curbed and there should be enlightened citizens. India can become great only if India's people are great. National reconstruction has to be preceded by character building of the citizens. This was the formula of Swami Vivekananda. National reconstruction, national building cannot take place without the character building of the citizens, a large number of citizens. Now, when we are talking about character building, if the character has to be strong, if a building has to be strong, the foundation has to be strong. When we had an earthquake rehabilitation project, we told the engineers we want earthquake resistant houses. They said you will have to spend more because we have to make a very strong foundation, more of iron and more of cement. I said, okay, but we want earthquake resistant houses. So we have to spend more money in foundation. A strong foundation is required for a strong building. Similarly, a strong foundation is required for the strong character building also. And this foundation has to be laid before the building is constructed, not after the building is constructed. Similarly, the foundation of character building has to be done in student days and not in after retirement. That means the national development will take place only if the character building of the citizens, more particularly the character building of the students, take place, because the foundation has to be made strong. Now, how the character building of the students can take place? C is equal to D. How the character building of the citizens take place? Character is nothing but a bundle of habits, Swami Vivekananda says. What is habits? Repeated actions. What is repeated actions? Repeated thoughts. As you dream, so is the thought. As you think, so is your action. As your action, so is your habit. So that is why they say, so thoughts and reap actions. So actions, reap a habit. So habits, reap a character. So character is nothing, a bundle of habits. It is nothing but samskaras, the impressions created by past actions. Now, what are the factors responsible for samskaras? There are 4 important factors building up the samskaras and building up the character of a student, of a citizen. What are the 4? Number 1, the samskaras received from the previous birth, over which we don't have any control. Second, samskaras received from the parents, either genetically through the blood or through the behavior pattern. Third, samskaras received from the environment much depends upon the place where he is living, whether in the city or in a village, in the type of society where he is living, environment, and type of programs he is seeing in the idiot box or the TV box. All this will decide. And the type of friends, most important, peer pressure. This will, third is environment. And the fourth most important factor is teacher. Teacher, and particularly the modern psychologists say for first 4 years, the child is very much influenced by the mother, next 4 years by the father, and from 8 to 15 years maximum by teachers, because teachers are their role models. So teachers can spoil them if they want, and teachers can make them great if they want, from the age of 8 to 15 years. So now the equation is clear. A is equal to B. World can be conquered. World has to be conquered by Indian spirituality. B is equal to C. If world has to be conquered by India, India should become great. B is equal to C. If India has to become great, India's citizens should become, character building should take place, the student is, C is equal to D. And the character building of the students can take place only by teachers. D is equal to E. And therefore, A is equal to E. The whole world depends upon teachers, the type of teachers. If the teachers are great, the whole world will be saved. If the teachers are not great, and if they don't give proper education to the students, these students will become demons, and they will become third, fourth or fifth type and destroy the civilization. What type of civilization we want our children to live in? What type of society we want our children should live in? An enlightened citizenship, a civilization where you are insecure, a civilization where there is rampant corruption, where there is rampant violence, where there is rampant suicide and mental patient like Western countries. What type of society you want your children to live in? We have to decide. If we want that no, we should continue to send our girls even at midnight without any fear, as it happens in Gujarat during Navratri, we want to continue that. And if we don't want, I went to London, 7 p.m. when you come out, you feel there is a curfew in the city. Even in the noon also sometimes there is a curfew, but night after 7 p.m. there is a curfew. Nobody comes out. Only we had to go, we came out, and when we were in the car, only 2 or 3 persons, and that also drunkard, and they started fighting and quarreling, and one boy started running madly after a girl, and then 3-4 persons came there to save that girl. We saw with our own eyes. No security in UK or European countries. You can't come out. The girls cannot come out. Here you are going at midnight in Navratri without any police protection or without any bodyguard. Do we want to continue to have this, or do you want that Western culture should come and get fully destroyed? We have to see what type of society we want. Do we want a society full of corruption, full of demons? This is what we have to decide. If we really want the dream of Swami Vivekananda to be fulfilled, that the whole world shall be permeated by Indian spiritual culture and Vedantic culture, and all the people in the world will get mental peace and will live in harmony and peace, and there should be world peace and there should be mental peace. If we want that, then India has to become great. India's poverty has to go. India has to become a developed country. In order to that, our citizens, our enlightened citizens have to have character building. In order to have that, we have to have man-making character building education. In order to have that, we must have better teachers. And that's why you are becoming better teachers now. Already you are good teachers and you want to become better. Better teachers. Better teachers. We have been teaching very nicely physics, chemistry, mathematics, geography, history. One more thing, man-making education. Give them values. Even if you are a mathematics teacher, you can give values. We can talk for 5 minutes, and then values are never taught. Values are always caught. What you speak is not important. Swami Vivekananda says 1 ounce of practice is more important than 1 ton of load, 1 truckload of talks. An ounce of practice is more than 1 ton of talk. So values are always caught, values are never taught. Our Swamiji was the principal of a very big school, very popular school, one of the best schools of the country in Calcutta. And all the principals of all the schools are our Swamijis, who are PhD, doctors, M.Ed, B.Ed. They are qualified. They only can become principal. But it's a monk. Now what did he do? He found out on the ground, the schools are very neat and clean. If you really want to call that school a temple of learning, it's a Vidya Mandir where Saraswati resides, goddess Saraswati resides, it has to be, first thing is cleanliness. 100% cleanliness. Otherwise it is a den, it is not a school. That is the first thing. That the first value you have to teach is cleanliness is next to godliness. I recently visited one school. Wow, beautiful. And that also in Godhra. First of all, they told me you have to come to Godhra and talk to 900 teachers only last month. I was afraid of all the places I have to get Godhra. But when I reached there, when I entered the premises, what a wonderful place. They had kept it in one school. Beautiful school. It's a private, it's a self-financed school. Beautiful campus. Everywhere there are beautiful images of all the great people. Mirabai, Narsi Mehta, Swami Vivekananda, Guru Nanak, so many beautiful images and beautiful garden. And this is the first thing that is written in the board. Cleanliness is next to godliness. And beautiful lawns. So nice, clean. First thing you get, yes, I am entering a Vidya Mandir. I am entering a temple of learning. And I am going to meet goddess of learning, Saraswati here. So, in our school that time, very good cleanliness we keep, but the principal Swamiji found out there are so many small pieces of paper in the lawn. He didn't put any notice, nothing. When he used to walk from his chamber to the classroom, he would go through the to the lawn. He has to go through the lawn. He will say, "Son, pick up these pieces of paper, put in the pocket, and then put them into the waste paper basket." For 3 days, and the children are like monkeys, they are watching. They are watching. They are not. After 3 days, they fell down. Dada, they don't call him sir. Dada, Dada means elder brother. It's very homely relationship with the student. Dada, eirakum korvenna, amade lajja devenna. Please don't put under shame. We will not do it. He had not to pass any notice. Not even assembly had not made an announcement. Children learn the values, they are caught, they are never taught. So Swami Vivekananda says, be and make. First be a great person and then make others great people. Plus first build your own character and others will follow. So the teacher, his own character or her own character is more important. That is what we have